Hello and welcome to Cake. Today I'm making a Bienenstich cake, a bee sting cake, which is a German classic. It's a yeast-based cake dough with a candied almond crust filled with a delicious vanilla pudding. You can find the exact measurements in grams and cups in the link below. Let's jump to the ingredients for the yeast-based cake layer. I'm using 3 1/3 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, 1 pack of yeast, 1 pack of vanilla sugar or alternatively 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 ounces of butter, and 1 egg. I combine the butter and milk and heat it on a stove until it's fully melted. Then I remove it from the heat and allow it to cool to almost room temperature. You don't want to combine the yeast with the liquid that's too hot. Then I add all the ingredients to the flour and combine first with a fork and then knead it with my hands for about a minute. I cover the bowl with a plate and set it aside in a warm spot in my kitchen to activate the yeast. This takes about an hour and I know it's ready when it's doubled in size and looks like this. I'm preparing the cake in a cake ring. A springform pan would work just as well. This one is 28 centimeters in diameter or about 11 inches. I've lined it with parchment paper and greased the base and sides of the ring with some butter. I evenly distribute the dough with my hands and allow it to rest for about 30 minutes in the ring. In the meantime, we can get to the delicious candied almond crust. Here are the ingredients for the crust. 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 cup of butter, 2 cups of sliced almonds, and 1/3 cup of sugar. I combine all the ingredients except the almonds in a pot and place it on a stove to melt the butter. Then I remove it from the heat and allow it to cool for about a minute before adding the almonds. With a fork, I poke lots of holes in the dough to allow for the topping we've just created to saturate the dough and keep it super moist. Then I distribute the almonds and cover this whole thing with an aluminum foil. Then it's going into a preheated oven at 350 Fahrenheit for 24 minutes. After the first 12 minutes have passed, I'm going to remove the aluminum foil. In the meantime, I prepare the pudding filling. For this, I'm using 2 packs of store-bought pudding mix. Each pudding mix requires about 300 milliliters of cold milk, which is about a cup, a little bit more than a cup. And what's important here is that it's asking for cold milk, so this pudding does not require heating. And instead of using the 300 milliliters of cold milk, I'm using 2 cups of heavy cream for 2 packs of vanilla pudding mix. This is going to make the filling much richer and also much firmer. As you can see, it looks a bit fluffier than a buttercream and it tastes super divine. My cake is now fully baked and it looks perfect. I'm going to allow it to cool in the cake ring for about 5 minutes before removing it from the ring and then allowing it to cool for another hour until it's really at room temperature. At room temperature, it's easiest and best to cut. I'm going to cut it in half and then cut 4 large portions. And don't worry, not everyone's going to get this large of a portion except for maybe the hostess with the mostest. And because the cake is now fully cooled, I can distribute the pudding filling and place the almond crusted layer on top of this. And then my cake is ready to be served. This cake tastes perfect with a crunchy top and a vanilla filling. Oh my god, it's divine. This cake does taste best when it's freshly made, however you can make it a day in advance, but you're gonna have to store it in an airtight container because this is a yeast-based cake and if it catches too much air it might dry. So give this recipe a try and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe for more delicious recipes and creative ideas. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.